Hey guys, so let me go over our slides for today. This is Tuesday, 9/22, and if you missed the live class, you were in the right place watching this video so I can tell you what we're doing. So off to the right here, we have a model of two thermometers, one that's in hot water and one that's in cold water. Please describe why the liquid in the thermometer moves lower in the tube when you put it in cold water. Basically, I'm asking you to summarize what you did yesterday during your independent work. How do thermometers work? Why does, when you put a thermometer in cold water, that red line goes down, down, down? So I want you to tell me here, when the thermometer is put in cold water, the particles, and try to do as much as you can. Tell me about particle speed. Tell me about their spacing. Tell me about their attraction. Try to answer all those. You can only do one of them. Just do one. You're just practicing. It's a warm-up. So pause the video, go and put that in the do now, and we'll keep going. Okay, so I want to talk to you about a learning target, sciences of the day. I'm going to have you go and do an ed puzzle and go over the independent work. It'll be fast. Remember that we are talking about particle motion when thermal energy is added or removed. Today you're going to model what happens to solid particles when heat is added or removed. Today is all about solids. Remember that thermal energy is the energy of movement of particles. You can think of it as adding up all the kinetic energy of every particle, just like we did last week. When something has more thermal energy, it means the particles are what? Take a second, answer that question. This is Arnaldo Tamayo Mendez. He was the first person that was of African descent, the first black person, and the first Latino person. He's Cuban. They were the first one in space, the first black person, the first Latino person in space, which is very cool. So he was Cuban, and he was a pilot for the Cuban Air Force. And back before 1990s-ish, Cuba and the USSR, which is the country of like many different countries put together that Russia was kind of the leader of, they were both communist countries, and so they had a very special relationship. And so the USSR asked Cuba to send them like their best pilot so he can become an astronaut, and he did. And he went up into space, and he did some experiments on. It was that's not that early, but it was early with people spending a lot of time in space. And so he went up to, I think, the Mir space station that the Soviets had at the time, and studied the disease, space adaptation syndrome that some astronauts they thought were getting sick up in space. I think they decided that they didn't, but you can look that up and look more because I don't know much about it. Okay, today in breakout rooms, you guys are working together. You're going to open this ed puzzle. You can click on it here. Ms. Beatty, thank you, Ms. Beatty, made us a video. It has stops and some questions, and you're just going to answer the questions as you go. The goal is to think about what you learned yesterday and to add up what you know about particles' motion. That means their speed, that means their kinetic energy, the spacing. Maybe you want to add in this idea of pressure that you see down here at the bottom. This idea of pressure is not an idea we've talked about yet, but we will. Maybe you already want to start talking about it a little bit. You're going to observe the balloon on the bottle, and talk about it. So go do the video, come back, and see if you can answer that question number 4 as complete as you can. Take your time and see how well you can do it. After that, you just have the rest of your independent work. So this is something that we would do together as a class. This is your independent work. I want you to click on this. If you haven't done this simulation yet, this was one of the options from, but I don't know how many people did it. So if you didn't do it, open it up, look at it. It's a good way to kind of get a new visual. Then you have some ball and ring work. This is a Google form. You got some work to do there, a quiz to do there. Altogether should not take you their entire time. You should have enough time to take a break between classes. That's it for me for today on Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday when you do not have class, but you do have an assignment. So check Google Classroom. Bye.